Good morning, everyone. Graham here. Well, it's not really good morning at all. It's gray, rainy, and dreary, but more importantly, it is a bleak morning for millions of American families because last night, some Senate Democrats caved. They caved and they voted with Republicans. And now, up to 20 million Americans are going to watch their health care premiums double, triple, and in some cases, quadruple. Now we are on a path to watch 15 million Americans possibly lose access to health care insurance in the first place. This happened because Chuck Schumer failed in his job yet again, because they do not understand that when we fight, we win. When we hold the line for working families, for working people, we win. But they don't get this. They see all of this as a game. These are just numbers on a sheet of paper, not people's lives. But I can tell you, down here in Eastern Maine, a doubling of healthcare premiums destroys families. That's not an exaggeration, it's not hyperbole, that is real, and it is going to happen now. We need to elect leaders that want to fight. We need to elect leaders that care about people, that care about the actual outcomes of policies. That is why I am asking all of you, call in today. Call your senators, call your congresspeople, call your senators and tell them that Chuck Schumer can no longer be leader.
Mr. Leader, some Democrats in your own caucus are suggesting Schumer is ineffective as Senate Democratic leader and should be replaced. You, of course, are critical of this deal. Do you view him as effective, and should he keep the job?
Someone told me, if you see an enemy drowning, allow them to drown. This is exactly what is going on in the Democrat Party. They are actually just confused. They are going off on each other right now. That should tell you a lot. Some say Chuck Schumer should resign immediately, while others say, no, he did the right thing. He played his role. Watching MMBC, Rachel said he did a great job. Lauren said the same thing. Why other people are still pinning for that he should resign? They are blaming him for what just happened. This should tell you a lot about the Democrat Party. And from my observations, I just concluded that they did not want to open the government. They want everything should be shut down. They preach throughout, oh, we want the government to be open. At the same time, when the government is now, they go against it. Then what was the essence?
A very bad vote. And what the election showed is that the American people want us to stand up to Trumpism, to his war against working class people, to his authoritarianism. That is what the American people wanted, but tonight, that is not what happened.
So, I mean, 50-50 chance of negotiating health care subsidies. I just remember all of the people who are coming in and hoping that people would vote them in and say, yes, you can be this person, or you can be a judge, or you can be this. And they all said, no, we're not going to mess with anything. No, we're going to leave everything as it was. I have no faith that they're going to negotiate and come back to the table. And I'm glad that folks, maybe, because again, we have seen, you say this is going to happen and then it doesn't happen.
Right.
So surprise me and show me that this is really, that people are going to get their money, that people are going to get the money that they are entitled to. It's not a gift.
Right.
They're entitled to this money during when there's a shutdown. You're entitled to that money.
Yeah.
So
There's
this
a
idea
contingency fund for
that they're giving in and giving this as a gift, it's not a gift.
No.
I don't understand. So is he right that Americans wanted Democrats to keep fighting?
Yes. Honestly, I don't know why Whoopi is still on The View. Yeah. I don't know why they always think she is. I don't know. When you look at this, there are people that continue their work during this lockdown. They didn't stop. These people should be entitled to this money. They should have it. It is their right. But people who stop working, you should not tell me that they deserve that, right?
This would, and people will get rehired, supposedly, federal workers, and reinstate SNAP benefits, but a 50-50 chance of extending the subsidies, I don't believe it.
Let's be clear. The Republicans run the House. The Republicans run the Senate. The Republicans run the White House. The Republicans run the Supreme Court, as far as I'm concerned. This was a choice by Republicans to cut SNAP benefits. This was a choice by Republicans to cut ACA subsidies. This was a choice by the Republicans to gut the federal government and federal employment. Democrats had nothing to do with it. I want an opposition party. I think the Democrats caved. I think the Democrats let down the American people. And like you, Whoopi, I have absolutely no faith that the Republican Party will come to the negotiating table in good faith. You do something like this, shame on you the first time. You do it twice, 3 times, 4 times, shame on me. Shame on the Democrats for even believing that the Republicans will, even vote on it. There's no guarantee in this New Deal that there's going to be a vote. There's no even commitment to have a vote. So the bottom line is the Democrats went into this after a blue wave out of the American people saying, we do want the opposition. The working people want the Democratic Party to fight for them. And now they just caved and surrendered. I think Chuck Schumer, his days are over. If he cannot keep his caucus together, if he cannot keep...
Yes, The View finally admitted that it was Democrats who were holding up to the vote to keep the government open, and now they are very upset that a Democrat broke ground and sided with Republicans to make sure people could not put food on the table. If you look at what Whoopi said on this video, that is clear. You can understand exactly that they knew. They were doing this on purpose. When I watched the View's videos, I think before or in between the shutdown, these people were claiming like it's a Republican shutdown. Now the tone has changed. That should tell you something. Watching Anna on CNN, when you take a look at this, Anna claimed that Democrats simply don't have the cool-heartedness necessary to see people suffering as the shutdown continues. Has she lived under a rock? Democrats have openly admitted, knowing that what they did inflicted pain and suffering on the American people. A lot of people would see this clearly, like they did this on purpose. What was the aim? To do this. You shut down the government. Yeah, at the end of the day, you have not achieved anything. Then what was the purpose of doing that? That would be a question that a lot of people will ask. And they're already doing that. Even if you are not intelligent enough, you will understand exactly what is going on here. Like, who is the problem? You could have opened the government ever since if you knew that one day you are going to do that finally. Than keeping people suffer. But I have a problem. I don't always like to see people always depending on the government. Like any small thing you have to depend on. I have a problem with this. Sometimes there are things that you just do. You don't even look at the government. Some believe that any slightest thing, they blame the government. That should not be happening. I think I'm going to end here. I want to appreciate people supporting me, sharing out the videos. God bless you abundantly. Please share the video.
Over 40, he beat Hillary by 41 points.
Right.
He beat Joe, he got lost to Joe Biden.
But not in West Virginia.
No, he still won by 40 points.
This let me know one thing. This ain't got nothing to do with color. This ain't got nothing to do with color. It's either God's side or Satan's side.
And that was my first instinct to have more Republicans on the show, but they don't want to come on. They're scared of us. It's like
history. Point when I say I'm not going to be apocalyptic. He even gets an off.
If the Democrats...
Because how many times do somebody asks?
4.
J.D. Vance should be the next president of the United States. If you want to serve in the American...
Give interviews, I don't do that.
J.D. Vance should be the next president of the United States.
Happening at the moment.
Yeah.
President Obama is blatant censorship.
Because he says he has a team of fact checkers.
The FCC.
I want them to stop fooling around with my right to say what I feel.
Americans. It's a part of who we are.
Because that is really something that didn't happen before.
Does anybody else watch The View? Because I think there's...
I'm going to say one.
Look, there are certain rules of free speech that we must all abide by. But in case anyone needs a refresher, we're going to go over the rules again.
He does not have a right to have a television show.
to spreading lies.
Somebody to get up there, not all the same people that are in these polite...
Disagree with what Gavin Newsom said that he doesn't...
Dave Chappelle.
Without of interest.
I mentioned last night Trump was bragging about how...
Hey everybody, how you doing? It's Peggy D.
Many were surprised to see Darth Renner.
Between now...
60 minutes for editing an interview.
Same time, he's doing rent freezes. He's going to freeze